I want to change the subject because I feel like we're dancing around the elephant in the room, Dan Cleary, which is that you're like in the fucking news and we should talk about it. I feel like we're just talking about bullshit and we should get into the nitty gritty of like this big ass news that's going on in your life.
All right. Okay. I'll sum it up. So most people that listen to this show know that I worked for Marilyn Manson starting in 2007 for about a year, and then left or just stopped working for him in 2008. And then I went back to work for him as a personal assistant in 2014 and 2015. And in September of 2020, I saw that someone drew attention to some girl who made a claim about, Manson being really over the line creepy and abusive. And something had happened to me that week with a family member. And so my sensitivities to that kind of stuff were very, very heightened. And I saw this girl having the bravery to come forward and make a claim about someone as famous and powerful as he is. And I'm looking in the comments of her post, and it's all people calling her a liar and a cunt and a bitch and a gold digger and an attention whore and a star fucker. And it made me furious. And I didn't think, I didn't plan, I did like a stream of consciousness Twitter thread about things that I had seen in all my years with Manson. And to sum it up, in 2007, it was my first ever real world tour. It was the Marilyn Manson, the Rape of the World tour. And he was with Evan Rachel Wood at that time. That was his girlfriend. I think she was 19 for that tour. And I didn't have a ton of access to Manson then. I didn't have a ton of access to Evan. But at the beginning of the tour, she was very sweet. Every day she would come to the stage for a sound check or the show, and her and I would exchange Anchorman lines. Like Anchorman had just come out, and so we sort of bonded over Anchorman. And she was very kind. I did not know her well. Like back then, Manson and his world was a bit secluded from the crew. But people that worked on the tour that were closer to him would sort of let the rest of the crew kind of in on some secrets and talk about private stuff that was going on. And I was very, very new to touring then. So all I knew was like, okay, just, keep things to yourself and mind your business and do your job. And in my Twitter thread from September, I said that I noticed that she changed a lot over the course of the year. And her demeanor changed, her physical looks changed. She got skinnier. Her whole aura just became darker. And pairing that with what I heard was going on was like, okay, so there's weird shit going on and she's kind of being mistreated. And I didn't think of it for a long time. I was 27 and again, trying to mind my own business. And that's kind of, we're taught that in life, first of all, to kind of mind your business, don't get involved. So I did and didn't think much of it. And then I started working for him as a personal assistant in 2014, 2015. And I saw firsthand the way he treated his then girlfriend and now wife. And I was there for it firsthand. I saw some physical abuse as far as pushing and throwing things at her, and a lot of violent outbursts around her, breaking things, and a lot of mental abuse and name calling and threats. And I'm his assistant. I don't know what to really do. There were times when I was alone with her when I would try to sort of comfort her, because there were times when Manson would tell her that he's going to kill her and cut her up and that I'm going to bury her in the desert. Me. And so he would leave the room and I'd be like,
Oh
I'm
my
not,
God.
you're going to be fine. I'm not going to do any of that. Let's get you out of here. Let's get you to a hotel. And I did all that shit. Now, I didn't say anything for, 5 years because again, there's this code in music of kind of mind your own business. And I regret it very much. I regret, I spoke to his manager about it, but the manager seemed to know all that and didn't really care a lot. Everyone in his world, everyone in his world knew what was up, and no one seemed to be concerned very much. So neither did I, and that's on me. I shouldn't, take my lead from everybody else. I'm a grown man. I should be able to make my own decisions, and eventually I did. So I came forward in September just to support this girl that I didn't know. But the things that she claimed are exactly what I have seen him do with his girlfriend and other people, is all I'll say. So then, last Sunday night, Evan Rachel Wood and I think 3 or 4 other women all came forward at the exact same moment and named him for the first time. Brian Warner is our abuser. This is what he did to us. And all of it is exactly stuff that I had seen or heard about. So this week it's been a roller coaster. I woke up Monday morning to missed voicemails from the New York Times, LA Times, People, Vanity Fair, Daily Beast, BBC, Loudwire, Rolling Stone, all these people. And it's been a crazy week. It's been a very, very crazy week. I'm really, really proud of these women for standing up for themselves, led by Evan, and the rest of them are just, it's powerful to watch. It's great to see people facing their abuser. The 97% of the feedback I've gotten has been positive, and that's made me feel good. There's been mothers that have reached out and said, thank you on behalf of someone who has 3 daughters.
Wow.
I appreciate it. And that's all great. But then there's also death threats. And then there's also people saying that, I'm complicit because, I saw the stuff happening and I didn't do anything. And I'll accept that. There's some truth in that. I was on the payroll. I was getting paid. And the hard part, or one of the hard parts, is something I said in my tweets, is that Manson is not just all bad. We both share a sense of humor. Sometimes he's fun to be around, but he's also an addict. And I'm finding out more and more that he's just a bit of a monster. And there's more every day. Something new is coming out that is blowing my mind and making me sick as to how bad he really could be. So it's been a wild week. It's been a wild week, but all worth it if it helps these women. It's inspiring to sit back and watch them, kick some ass on behalf of each other and themselves, and all these other women are coming forward, and it's been crazy. And
Well, I read your tweet thread that you posted back in September, and I was really struck by how honest it was and how not patronizing and not it was very vulnerable. And you did share in that tweet thread that how conflicted you were because Marilyn Manson did show you kindness. You knew him as a person. You saw him at his best. You saw him probably a little bit, maybe the tip of the iceberg of his worst, but you saw him at his best when he did a kindness for you and he employed you and treated you fairly for the time that you were with him. And there is a code of silence, I'm sure, in the music business, just like there is in stand-up comedy.
all entertainment. Yeah.
And, I really appreciated that. But also, I will say it is so important to have male allies. And you have shown yourself to be a male ally.